Imagine waking up every single day, working harder than most people you know, yet your bank account never seems to grow. Bills keep coming, opportunities pass you by, and somehow the gap between you and financial peace just keeps getting wider. If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. And it's not because you're lazy or unlucky. There are specific reasons why so many hardworking people stay stuck financially year after year. Today I'm going to break down the real reasons, the ones nobody talks about openly, so you can finally see the path out. Stick with me till the end, because the last point might be the one that actually changes everything for you. First reason, they treat money like it's the enemy instead of a tool. Most people who struggle financially grew up hearing that money is root of all evil or that rich people are greedy. That belief gets planted deep. So even when money comes in, they feel guilty keeping it or growing it. They spend it fast to feel better or give it away to prove they're not selfish. Think about it. If you secretly believe having money makes you a bad person, your brain will sabotage every attempt to build wealth. You'll choose the job that pays just enough instead of pushing for more. You'll feel uncomfortable negotiating a raise. That mindset quietly controls every money decision you make without you even realizing it. I once knew a guy who turned down a big promotion because he didn't want to become one of those rich people his family always complained about. Years later, he was still complaining about being broke. The belief was stronger than his desire to change his life. The truth is money is neutral. It's just energy. The same money that funds hospitals and schools can also be wasted. What matters is who controls it. When you shift how you see money, your entire behavior starts to change. Second reason, they trade all their time for money and never build anything that works without them. Poor people stay poor because their entire income depends on them showing up and trading hours for dollars. No system, no asset, nothing working in the background. When they stop working, the money stops completely. A teacher or driver or a shop attendant might work 12 hours and still struggle at the end of the month. Meanwhile, someone with a small business or investments earns even while sleeping. The difference isn't intelligence. It's understanding that your time is the most limited resource you have. Most people never ask the crucial question, how can I make money while I'm not physically working? They stay loyal to one job, one paycheck, one way of earning. Years go by, and they wonder why nothing improved. The painful part is they often work the hardest. But hard work alone, without leverage, keeps you running on a treadmill. You need to start creating something that can eventually pay you repeatedly, whether it is a skill you own, a product, or putting money to work for you. Third reason, they have no idea what their money is actually doing. They get paid, pay bills, buy stuff, and repeat. No tracking, no plan, no awareness. Money slips through their fingers like water because they're not paying attention to the flow. One small example, that daily takeaway coffee and snacks. Doesn't seem like much, but over years it adds up to thousands that could have been growing somewhere. The real issue isn't the coffee. It's the complete lack of visibility into where every sadie or dollar goes. Without knowing your numbers, you can't make smart choices. You can't cut the hidden leaks. You can't see when you're spending more than you earn until it's too late, and debt is already piled up. The people who build wealth treat their personal finances like a business. They know exactly what comes in, what goes out, and where the gaps are. That simple awareness alone puts them miles ahead. Fourth reason, they use debt to feel richer instead of using it as a tool. They borrow for clothes, gadgets, vacations, and things that lose value immediately. The lender makes money, the store makes money, but the borrower ends up paying way more than the item was worth, sometimes for years. Credit cards especially become dangerous because they make you feel like you have more money than you actually do. Buy now, feel good now, suffer quietly later. That temporary pleasure creates long-term stress that keeps you trapped. Compare that to someone who only borrows money to buy things that make them more money, like education that leads to higher income or assets that appreciate. The direction of the debt changes everything. Debt isn't always evil, but when you use it to buy a lifestyle you haven't earned yet, it becomes a chain. Breaking that habit and living below your means for a period is one of the fastest ways to create breathing room in your life. Fifth reason, they don't let their money make money. They keep everything in a savings account earning almost nothing, or they spend it all. They miss the power of compound interest, where your money starts earning money, and then that money earns more money. Someone who starts investing small amounts in their 20s or early 30s can build serious wealth by their 50s, even with average returns. But many wait until later, and then panic because time, the most powerful factor, has already been lost. It's not about getting rich quick. It's about starting and staying consistent. Even if you only manage to save and invest 10% of what you earn, that decision compounds over time in ways most people never experience. The beautiful thing is once your money starts working, it never gets tired. It doesn't ask for vacation or complain. It just keeps growing if you leave it alone and add to it regularly. Sixth reason. Their circle reinforces poor financial habits. They spend time with people who also live paycheck to paycheck. The conversations are about the latest phones, betting, parties, or complaining about money. Never about building, investing, or creating. Your environment is silently programming you. When everyone around you normalizes struggling, it feels normal. Trying to save or invest can even make you feel like the weird one or the stingy one. I've seen people lose momentum because their friends made fun of them for cooking at home instead of eating out every night. The pressure to fit in financially destroys more dreams than most admit. At some point, you have to choose. Stay comfortable in the familiar struggle or seek out people who are where you want to be. Your network can either keep you stuck or pull you forward. Seventh reason. They focus only on making more money instead of keeping and growing what they already have. They chase higher salaries or side hustles, but never fix the holes in their pockets. As soon as more money comes in, lifestyle expenses rise to match it. New car, bigger place, more eating out. They end up in the same position, just with higher bills. This is why some people earning $5 million a year still feel broke, while others earning far less feel free. It's not the income level. It's the gap between what comes in and what actually stays. Learning to be content and intentional with what you have right now is powerful. When you control your spending, every extra sati becomes a powerful tool instead of disappearing. Mastering the keeping part is often harder than the earning part, but it's what separates people who stay broke from those who build lasting wealth. Eighth reason. They wait for motivation or perfect conditions instead of building small disciplines. They say they'll start saving when they get a better job. They'll invest when the market is right. They'll learn about money when they have more time. But that perfect moment never comes. Wealth is built by people who take imperfect action consistently. They save a small amount now. They learn one concept this month. They fix one bad habit today. Over years, those small things create massive results. The difference between the person who stays poor and the one who escapes is often just starting before they feel ready and refusing to quit when results are slow. Discipline beats motivation every single time because motivation fades. You don't need to be special or lucky. You need to decide that your future is worth the uncomfortable changes today. Small actions repeated create the freedom most people only dream about. Look, I know this stuff hits hard because I've been there and I've watched people close to me stay stuck in the same cycles. But the good news is awareness is the beginning of change. Now you see the traps. The question is, what will you do differently starting this week? If this video helped you see things clearer, do me a favor and share it with someone who needs to hear this. Drop one thing you're going to change in the comments. Let's build better habits together. See you in the next one.